This video is going to be a little bit about geology and a little bit about fossils and dating fossils. So let's just start with a basic definition of different types of rock. So igneous rock is formed from cooling magma, often has large crystals within it. As it cools, the crystallization process happens. Sedimentary rocks sounds just like what it is, sediments. So sediments that are laid down and then solidified and made into a rock. So think about sandstone, or if you've ever been to southern Utah and seen those layers of sedimentary rock, that's what we're talking about. Metamorphic rock is rock that has gone through a change. It can be igneous rock or sedimentary rock that has been changed either by extreme heat and or pressure. And if we take a look at the rock cycle, we can get a better idea about these types of rocks. Okay, here we have the rock cycle. And so you can see igneous rock being formed by cooling magma, then weathering of rocks at the surface causes sediments to erode and be transported across the landscape through different hydrologic activities. And as those sediments are transported across the landscape, then you have deposition of sediment. And as that deposition solidifies and hardens, that's where you get sedimentary rock. As it says here, a burial and compaction of those sediments. And then you have different processes that metamorphose either sedimentary or igneous rock, and that's metamorphic rock. And then the rock cycle starts over. So fossils are preserved remains of organisms that have previously lived. So this is a whole bunch of different fossils, from a fish fossil to petrified wood to a petrified pine cone to megalodon tooth and trilobites and a bivalve fossil. So anyway, there's lots of fossils, and fossils mostly form in sedimentary rock under very specialized circumstances which allow usually the hard body parts of organisms to be able to be preserved. In general, igneous and metamorphic rock, if we think back to the rock cycle, have circumstances which are much too hostile for organic matter to be preserved. If you just think about the sheer amount of pressure or heat that is happening when a metamorphic rock is formed, or the high degrees of temperature from magma, then you're probably not going to find organic matter being preserved into fossils. Okay, so fossils mostly in sedimentary rock. Rarely they can be found in other materials like amber or in tar pits. Maybe some of you might have been to the La Brea tar pits in Los Angeles, California. It's a very rare type of circumstance, but worth mentioning. Fossils can be dated by both relative methods and absolute methods. So relative methods where rock layers, sedimentary layers, and other layers are relatively laid down, with the youngest layers on the top in general and older layers below. So relatively dating those with specific index fossils that are traced from area to area. Absolute methods such as radiometric dating can be used. Okay, so there's a little bit about geology and fossils and dating those fossils.